a pretty tight squeeze, but we're in some good hunting ground and found this opening dropping down. We're gonna have to relay the packs in, but did you feel any airflow down there? Or?
No, unfortunately not.
No airflow, but still, we're in a good hunting ground, and sometimes these little openings lead to really good stuff. So I'm gonna switch off the camera, give him my pack, and I'll pick up somewhere in there. We just slid in from there, and it actually opens up pretty nicely, as you can see. So my buddy's back there. There's a drill mark right there. So this isn't super old. Obviously old. Gives us some sense of a time frame. There's a little stope pocket up there. Obviously the rats have explored this before us. Got some really old miner's boots right there. That's pretty cool. And then bits and pieces, metal, scrap, wood scrap, etc. And we're looping around. I got rail. Off to a good start. And okay, this is interesting. The rail stops, but we've got something fun dropping off down there. And then this just ends at a cave right there, which makes sense because we were looping around back to the outside world. So I'm not sure why they had that little loop-to-loop there, but this looks interesting down there. And you can see they have some notches. This is just wood they cut down outside and didn't mill. But they have notches right there where rails were. So I'll drop down and pick up somewhere down there. Really interesting little winds coming down here. It's got stairs coming all the way down, so it's super easy to come down. There's stuff going off to the left. Looks like it keeps dropping down. There's a shaft somewhere over there marked on the topo in the outside world. But then it also heads off this way, deeper in the mountain. So we have opted to head deeper in the mountain. You see, you've got some gobbing here. Everything's covered in rodent urine, which is, well, we'd rather it wasn't, but everything else is looking pretty good. A little chamber here, actually more than a little chamber. In my buddy's packs. And I see why they ditched their packs. They dropped their packs to run this out. So I'm going to give them a minute, see if it leads to anything, because no matter what, they're going to have to come back for their packs. If it goes anywhere, I will join you somewhere down there. That hole they're scouting out is right there. So I was looking around, waiting for them, and I saw this improvised container here that had that board to the top, almost like they were carrying it like that. So looking inside, there is some rock inside, which I'm curious about, but perhaps more interestingly, there were some newspapers tucked inside. This one, we've got part of a date, something January. Unfortunately, that's all it tells us. We've got Alta, California there. However, this section gives us more clues, because if you look at some of the prices, it says California Theater. You can see, I'm assuming those are ticket prices, were 25 cents, 35 cents, 50 cents, or 75 cents. So that gives us some idea. And also, I just looked over here, I see something about a steamship company election. So that's got to be on the old side. This side was pretty faded. Maybe you can pause your video and oh, I think I might see the edge of a date. I was just saying you could pause the video and read it, or try to read it, but I think I see a date here. Hold on. Yeah. Holy shit. January 23rd, 1887.
Wow. Wait, what? Holy shit.
This newspaper scrap has a date on it.
It's the oldest one I've ever seen.
Next to my finger right there. Can you guys see that? January 23rd, 1887.
It's also my birthday.
1887?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, January 3rd.
Looking around some more, we spotted this. I think this is a chisel because it's got the 4 flat sides, but it looks like it's been beaten down to almost nothing, as you can see how short it is. So they obviously pounded it down, resharpened it, pounded it down, resharpened it, but it's hard to imagine it's got much utility at this length, but maybe that's why they left it. We just walked down from that direction, maybe 40 feet, didn't really miss anything. Just walked by some daubing. These guys are getting suited up because, well, not because of what's right in front of me, but because what's right below me. See, it drops down. There's a level right there. Looks like, I can't tell how much of that is rotten wooden platform versus like actually something you could stand on, but there's a level of sorts right there. And then it keeps dropping down beyond that. We're gonna do a rock test. Wow, that goes a decent way. And then curious about this one that's directly below us too. All right, Jeremy's getting set up. Doing a quick meat anchor on this one. It's an easy way to do a quick little recon.
But know what you're getting into.
Right.
Just shock load your meat anchor. Make for a bad day.
Yes, it would. For both of you.
How you feeling?
I'm good.
You good? Okay.
All right, there he goes.
It drifts back this way.
Oh, cool.
Across or this side of the platform?
Towards where we
back
are.
underneath where we just came from.
Yeah, towards
There's
us.
cool wooden barrels down here.
Wow, I wonder if this ties into those workings dropping off to the left where we first came down.
They might.
Last guy just roped down from up there. We are on the next level down at this platform that keeps dropping down that way. There is some cool stuff down here. That's my bag right there. We've got these very old wooden barrels with the metal handles. An amazing quantity of rat or rodent feces, I should say. Now look at those barrels. That one more just has the metal frame and a couple pieces of wood. And the next to where I put my pack, there's this little treasure trove of stuff. Not sure what those wheels would have been used for yet. Those are tiny. I mean, in case someone's thinking those are ore car wheels, those are maybe 3.5 inches across. So, let's see. We'll run. I can't even imagine how old those must be.
Freaking cool. Yeah, these are 1800s for sure.
That's really cool.
That's, yeah.
That's a really cool thing to see.
Imagine that. Lifting tons and tons of ore out of those.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm assuming that's what they were. I'm assuming those were ore buckets.
That's what it looks like with this hook. Definitely.
And yes, it is hard to imagine how many tons of material went out through those. Very cool. All right, let's run this out real quick. Jeremy, oh wow, look how flat and straight it is through here. Sorry, I was getting distracted. Very, very squared off. Very flat and straight. And almost wheelie. You see, it looks like there are grease stains running down each side. The rail in the middle. I wonder if they just greased the hell out of the rails. That looks more like calcite than quartz. Anyway, that grease, apparent grease stain on the sides is interesting. I don't think that's rodent urine, because why wouldn't they have pissed in the middle as well? Okay. This is that shaft. And, ooh, I don't really see an easy way to get across that. That is a rotten timber. If you're thinking I could just scurry along the side. All rotten. This is, wow. That doesn't look easy. And, oh yeah. It's hard to tell. I'm not going to get too much closer. I'll get a little bit closer. But if you look up, see the daylight? If I take the lights away, see the daylight? It's a gigantic timber right there. I can't even see the top of it. That's nuts. Remember when we first dropped in there, those workings going off to the left, we went to the right? I bet that just looks like that section. And if that's the case, it would get us on the other side of the shaft, because that drops down over there. I wouldn't want to fall down there, because you probably would end up down the shaft, but it actually doesn't look like anything anyway. It looks like it might even just end right there. Anyway, the winds looks way more promising anyway. I think we'll just keep dropping that. That's a big timber there. That's, you can see the old spikes in it. And that's 2.5 feet wide. It's pretty big. There's some metal bits down here. Oh, look at that right in front of us. See the piece of the old pick? I think that's a hammer end on the right, pick end on the left, and then it's just split in the middle there. That's pretty cool. All right, let's go back to the winds and size that up. The shaft is just right there. I was coming out and I noticed this pick that I missed on the way in. This one's in better shape than the last one. You can clearly see the hammer end here. The camera will focus on the hammer end and the pick end. Still fairly sharp, and the hammer end seems pretty intact as well. So that was in pretty good shape, and of course the handle, I guess, is just rotted away 100 years ago. It's just a spike, I believe. Yeah, rail spike right there. All right, now I'll go back to the winds. Back to that winds, Jeremy's roped in. We're gonna keep running this one down. Looks like there might be another sub-level, maybe 75 feet down or so. 50 feet, 75 feet, it's hard to tell on both, but we'll see what happens. It doesn't look quite as bad when you go stand on the edge.
No.
It looks horrific from here, but
This is a little sporty right here.
okay. Oh yeah, that is a bit sporty right there.
The ladder run's still decent.
Yeah.
You're walking on the sides of the ladder though, huh?
Yeah. Holy fuck, that's a fat rat.
There's
Nice.
a rat down there.
It blows my mind some of the places they end up.
How do they, like, is there another entrance or some shit?
Is this chilling looking at you?
He ran from just underneath right here.
Wow. Well, maybe he'll come up and visit us. We just roped down from there, Our estimate is about 140 feet based on the amount of rope that we've used. There's another guy coming down now. There's a look up at it. That is the only good section of ladder. Lots of rotten wood. But that's a cool view actually. But far more cool, and I mean really mind-blowingly cool. You got stuff going off this way. And that way, got rail down here. So that's definitely going to be investigated. But there's a lot more going on than that. That's our rope, the end of it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. Yes, that's old dynamite. It says giant on the side of it, in case you can't see that. That is too faded to read on that side. That big timber there is taking a lot of abuse. Here is that side. See, it says something consolidated, powder company. Gets better. I'm not done. We got this ore car in front of us. That's an old one, to say the least. Bucket right here that has writing on it. It says, it was harder to see that one actually. Oh man, I can't read it actually. I really clearly see there's a circle punched out. I definitely see the word lard right there. Definitely see lard. The rest, don't know. Oh, here's a piece of the giant next to our rope. Okay. Old bottle. Very old. We actually have a map of this section of the mine. This is the oldest workings. These date back to the 1800s. You see the grease still on the ore car. You see the grease, the shiny grease. I'll show you more of the ore car in just a second. The side view of it. Still has all its wheels, still has a lever. Still connected over here. Look at these ore bags. These completely loaded bags of ore. And that's what the ore looks like. Any one of these things by themselves is usually really cool. Seeing them all together like this is extraordinary. Oh yeah, it's giant powder boxes all over the place. In good shape too. Giant. Yeah, these boxes are in amazing condition actually. Here is the front side of the ore car. It's a front dumper, obviously. You can see the gate is partially swung open. Continuing, there's a very old and unique looking bottle right here. It's got, oh shoot, I'm blanking on the name of that shape. That is really cool. Like I was saying, pristine dynamite boxes. Giant Powder Company. It's empty. Giant. Everything for blasting. Obviously they liked Giant. Seems like this pattern matches everything else we've been seeing. 1924. Okay, so obviously they were doing some work down here more recently than the 1800s, but it's good to get that date. Outstanding. Now, we've got, it might be old vent bagging right there. I'm assuming that's old vent bagging. Oh yeah, this is a little bit newer because we've got the compressed air line running down below us. That ends in front of us, but it drops down. That looks like an overpass right there. A deep, deep overpass. Alright, I'm really curious what's off the other side now. We just looked back there. This is that section. We dropped down, and now you'll see what back here. That just faces out right there, but we'll go up there and see what goes that way. And then, oh, okay. This just ends right here. But there's a little ore chute. That's a cute little ore chute. An ore chute right there. It looks like a compressed air line running up. That's one of the cuter ore chutes that I have seen. You see the utilities here. They've got the air and water down there, and then the rail running in. Wow, look at that wrench, huh? That's pretty cool. Oh wow, there's actually a lot of cool stuff here. We've got our Mobile E, our Gargoyle Mobile E. And we've got a big Lucky Strike container. Oh, there's more. Oh, I don't want to touch that. It's all greasy and nasty. Beware of imitation. Uh-oh. You guys aware of that threat? Apparently we need to be on the lookout for imitation gargoyle mobile oil. If you want to know what that says, just pause it and read it. I haven't gone my whole life. I didn't know to be aware of the imitation. That looks the same. Oh, it says something about Ford cars down there. Oh, especially recommended for Ford cars. Made in USA, Vacuum Oil Company. I forget who they became. I think they ended up with ExxonMobil, but I don't remember for sure. It says something about correct lubrication. Wow. Well, there were a lot of obstacles that we were dodging the way down, so it's going to be kind of a pain to get back out, but I could not say it was more worth it, because this has been pretty mind-blowing. So yeah, I just stoped out that. Looks like they were working on stoping this out, but must not have been great because they stopped Basically just turn this into a transfer station. We were just looking back there and climbed up into this chamber. This is just a backfilled stope that ends right in there. This is all backfill. And then the top of the cute ore chute is just over here. Interesting little stringer veins right there. All right. Like I said, there's the top of the cute ore chute. And where we were just a minute ago. Got that wedge driven in there for some reason. Oh, we keep going. There are 2 drill bits here actually. Question is, do they have the hole in the end? Yes. Yes, they do. Hopefully you can see that. Even though the camera's not cooperating and focusing, they do have the hole. At least that one does. And that one does as well. They both have the hole in the end. Another wrench chilling there. Actually, a lot of drill steel. Or let's see. Another drill bit right there. Glove. Just looking around. I don't see another glove. One glove. Looks like more chisels. Piece of drill steel right there. A miney thing. I'm not sure what that is. More drill steel. Keep running ahead that way. Those are our Jeremy's footprints right there. Those are the only footprints down here. I would imagine we're the first ones down here since this was last work. This looks like the gargoyle oil. I didn't already say that. I can't tell. It's covered in grease and dust. Bunch of little metal bits in the dirt. This is just a block of wood. Looks like some stoping was done back here. There's a look at the mineralization. And actually, everything down here looks like this. It's just the rest of this is all covered in dust from the blasting. So everything down here looks like this. In case that's not clear to my dear viewers. Oh, we're still going. Okay. There are a bunch of wood scraps. Tossed back. Ouch. Tossed back here. I cannot believe the rats are able to navigate this place. I mean, that was not an easy climb down, but somehow they're doing it. That amazes me, some of the places they can go. More metal bits. Some like chisels. Little side pocket. Stoping. Got a ladder here. Another view of the mineralization back here. I don't want to jinx this, but the ground has been really good. Dead end, stope pocket. Right there. Just look back. Yeah. How high it ran overhead. And then it's a dead end stope pocket right there. So at this point, because nothing is caved here, it's not like we were blocked by any cave-ins. It's just we ran out the extent of the sublevel. At this point, the only option is keep going down that ore chute. The only issue is that we don't have a huge amount of rope left. Look at that, the rats must have dragged that wood in from outside. That's a piece of a tree branch. So, probably gonna have some lunch, and then we'll size up the rope situation, or at least recon it, see what we might be able to do with it. So I'll pick up when we know more. We're back next to the ore car. Jeremy's on rope, and he's walking out on this trestle. It looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
It's very dry back here, but you don't want to go taking a ride down there either. You can hear how far that stuff's falling. There's a lot of stuff stacked out there. And there's a surprisingly shiny tin next to his right foot. His right, not our right. Alright, what we're working with here is actually fancy table syrup, as you can see at the bottom. You can see sugar and corn syrup. Tea Garden Products Company. I see Seattle. I see Portland. I see San Francisco. It's like San Francisco is the main office. That's the biggest one. Then you have a scene. Very stereotypical Asian scene. Looks sort of Japanese with that style, right? I think it says Tea Garden drips rather than tea carbide drips. Tea Garden drips. Anyway, with that style of writing, I think they're trying to say it's Japanese.
I'm gonna pull this rope, Graham. You wanna?
And then Jeremy, meanwhile, has made it that far. He's made it to the ladder. Anything super exciting?
Yeah, I've got something for you.
All right, cool. All right, so the ladder keeps dropping down where it might be viable. We're not sure yet. That's gonna be assessed further, but it looks like Jeremy's bringing back a couple bottles to show us. He's off the ropes, though. He has enough confidence in that platform. It is very dry back here. It was wet earlier, but that's dry. What are we looking at? Wow, those are unusual shapes.
Especially the right, the big one.
Yeah. All right, bottle people. Tell us what we're seeing here. I can't see anything on that.
No.
Yeah, who knows?
Looks like you got different thickness.
Yes, definitely. And that top is unique.
It's a cork top. Seam does go all the way to the top.
That is true. That is true.
So, that might be not as old as it looks.
It probably fits in with our 20s, 30s
Yeah.
vibe that we're getting from the rest of this stuff.
Olive jar.
Yeah, seems like it. This is table syrup.
Table syrup?
That's Tea Garden drips.
These guys were having dinner right here.
All right, Jeremy is on rope, going down the ladder. You're gonna be able to see his light without my light. That's him going down the ladder. Again, he's on rope, but we may be able to get. We're getting almost out of rope here, so he may get down there and decide that we can do it without.
Is a good rope or a good ladder?
It does look, yeah, the steps are inset. Everything you want is there, and it is dry in this section. So, hoping for the best. All right, Jeremy's down out of sight. We're waiting to hear back from him. Meanwhile, we're taking a closer look at this, and there's apparently a recipe on the side of it. Let's see the recipe real quick.
Yeah, right here. Well, there's actually 3 of them. But
Oh, wow.
I'm going to read this one.
Yeah, let's
It's
hear
shorter.
it. Let's hear it.
So this is for Tea Garden peanut butter taffy. We're going to need 1 cup of Tea Garden drops, half a pound of peanut butter, some amount of vinegar, 1 tablespoon of butter, 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
Vinegar?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going to boil the syrup for 3 minutes. Add the vinegar. Continue to boil till something when tested in cold water. Remove from something and add the peanut butter, I believe, and then add the vanilla. Not very detailed.
Yeah, then what? All right, I want somebody to make that.
A few words missing, but yeah, if anyone can make this, let's get gold stars on Justin's channel.
Here are those recipes. Pulled taffy. There's Tea Garden Old Fashioned pulled taffy. And then the peanut butter taffy. The pulled taffy is more complicated.
Yeah, that one's a long one.
All right, I would genuinely be curious if somebody threw that together. Is there vinegar and taffy that I didn't know about? Yeah. Oh, you guys are gonna like this. So Jeremy said it ran. So I came down a whole series of ladders. That's not the first platform. That's actually quite a ways down. There's a whole series of ladders and platforms leading up that way that you have to go up to get to that trestle. So Jeremy's batteries are running out. So Jeremy went back up to get a battery. I came down, and you can see this must have been a tool skip because it doesn't have sides, but it runs out to right in front of us to this platform here. It could have been an ore pass or an ore chute, and the sides are just gone. But I think they were probably dragging stuff up and down it. But if you also look, if you see that's all wood right there. I imagine they were dumping stuff back behind it through there. And then that shaft I mentioned, see the ladder going down here. Obviously somebody's coming down, but look down there, hard to see. Look down there, there's a rail, and that is the bottom. So we think that the bottom of the shaft is somewhere down there. There's this space cutting back, it just dead ends right there. There's some stuff tossed back there. And there's that weird little cut right there. Looks like it keeps dropping down actually. Then behind me, that's my pack. But you got more dynamite boxes down here. Giant powder. And we have drift. This is a drift that did have rail at one time. There's a roller. It's a metal. You see all the track ties here. They've been ripped up when they pulled the rail out. So obviously there was rail. That was a gate on an ore car at one time. Track ties. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is the shaft here actually. My mental geometry is correct. Yeah, that's looking shafty. Obviously got a bunch of moisture down here. You can see how rotted the dynamite boxes are. Got the remains of a ladder. Grease cup right there. Really badly abused, but massive. Timbers on the collar. Don't see anything that really stands out that you haven't seen. The rats have been busy down here. This box here was obviously made from other boxes, because you can see the writing there on the inside. Can't make out what it says. Maybe some of the audience can. And then here's the shaft. But like I said, I think the shaft probably bottoms out just below us. You can actually hear the little echo running up and down the shaft. I was looking up the shaft. I can't really lean out, but I think we're going to see the bottom of this shaft in a little bit. I think that is, unless it's caved or something or plugged, but I think that's what we're going to hit. So looks like another guy is just about at the bottom. I saw his light. We'll go meet up and formulate a plan. Back at this cool network of platforms and ladders. Leading up, up, up. That timber right there is just gigantic. I can't even imagine how they got that in place. I cannot imagine how much that weighs. Such a cool network of ladders. But from where we are now, the only option left is this guy right here, dropping down to the bottom. So, heading down that and picking up somewhere down there. We just climbed down from up there on that ladder, which was actually quite good. Surprisingly, given how low we are, it's extremely dry, despite the fact that it was wet up above. Got stuff running off that way. More interestingly, we got something running off this way with airflow.
Wow.
What you got?
Opens up a lot.
Opens up a lot.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
He's scouting that out. He just said it opened up a lot, if you didn't hear that. This ends there. That's it. I stuck my head in there. And then interestingly, this heads back this way. I don't know why my light's flickering. This heads back and the shaft is back this way. So let's go check that out real quickly while we wait for the report on that other section. It was tight dropping down that stope, but ran down a ways. Farther than I expected, actually. I probably slid down about 50 feet. I'm in more stoping. Chamber there. Chamber behind me. Piece of burlap right there on the ground. And we keep dropping down. I don't know what that light colored thing down there is. We keep dropping down. This isn't that steep, so I can walk this without rope. Let's discover what's down here together. This is actually smooth and slick, like an ore pass. And so that may well be what was going on here, because I see stopes dropping in from all over the place down here. I think that's the shaft still there. And got a stope here. Okay, it just ends. I thought it might go to the left. Stope. Oh yeah, that's the shaft. Shaft keeps dropping down. So I was slightly mistaken about being at the bottom before, but we've got to be close to the bottom. And so I'm wondering if I'm going to hit a drift level somewhere down there. And I'm really curious about that white colored pile. It looks like dirt. All right, this is really slippery. I'm going to put the camera away and I'll join you down there because I'm still going to have to slide on this. Made my way down through the ore pass there, and I am on a drift level. In fact, I think that's the shaft right there. We'll know momentarily. And that is a bunch of light colored rock that's completely filled in that space. That is odd. Okay, I think we are at the bottom of the shaft. In fact, I'm certain of it. See, it looks like an ore car in there. There's a bunch of rubble down here that has fallen in over the many years. And you're gonna like this view. That's looking straight up. That's a long way up. And if you look carefully, you can see where the drift levels pop in along the way on the way up. That is pretty cool to have bottomed this out. Got the shaft to my left here, and then there's all this space down here, which obviously has stuff and equipment. So let's slide down there and see how that looks. I just came down through this mess, and I'm on a full-on drift level. There's stuff running back that way. There's more of that light colored rock here. And a bunch of big timbers that probably can run the shaft. And that goes as far as I can see. I see some holes in the ground there and there. Let's do the right hand rule. I'm also curious about all this equipment. Looks like we got some airlines down here. This might have been a skip car actually. Now that I'm looking at it. Got some vent pipe down here. And oh, that's part of the vent system. I was trying to figure out what that was. That is clearly part of the vent system. There's a lot. The more I'm looking around, the more I'm seeing. This stuff is really weird. It's very, very soft and crumbly. That is backfilled right there. That looks really ugly, but there is an airline going there. And that's actually more modern, looks like. This raises so many questions on this level. This level seems a lot more... Seems like there's activity here more recently. So, okay, so there's a question mark there. Big question mark on all this stuff running off in different directions. That is all stope. And then looks like there's something pretty messy up ahead. There's all this weird powdery white stuff. I'm very curious about that. It does not fit with any of the type of rock that we have observed thus far. And there's weird little patches of it. See what I'm saying? Like it was spilling out of an ore car at spots where the ore car shook. Some timbers stacked out of the way. All right. Well, you don't have to take a wild guess as to where it was coming from. This is the worst ground that we've encountered so far. That, I don't know if that's doable or not. Just climbed up from underneath that. And here's a vein of that powdery, chalky, white material. This has been worked fairly extensively. That slab's about to go. And again, I don't know the status of that, but I'm gonna let the others catch up because there's a lot of different options and directions to take, and I don't want us to get separated. So I'm gonna wait for those to catch up. Okay, the others are catching up. That airflow pocket that Graham went down kept dropping, and it looked like it might have connected here. So we're gonna wait on that and run this out and see if it connects. If it doesn't, we can try dropping it. But for now, we're gonna try running the stuff down here out. Like I said, we've got that option. And then of course, whatever's, if we can even get through that, Jeremy came down, that's his bag, and Jeremy's checking that section right there. All right, there is the shaft section there, and Graham has joined us. There's Graham. And he noticed something that I walked right by that's really cool. Look at these jack legs back here. Not one, but two. Now, whether they're serviceable, not so sure about that. Although they are very durable. But that is amazing to even see them here. And put that in context. That's next to that, all that vent pipe and ventilation and stuff. So, this mine just keeps on giving. Keeps on giving. And I wish that I could tell you how crappy it looked outside. It looked like not even worth bothering. And yet some of our very best discoveries seem to start out like that. All right, the original shaft right there. And we've got this long drift level running out that way. Graham ran ahead. You can see his light way off in the distance. So I'm gonna go catch up to him. There's Stope dropping down there. And Prince Albert can right there. This is that light colored material we saw on the way down. We are looking at it from over in that direction. And I don't know why the egg-shelled drift here to expose that. That's pretty odd. In fact, we might even need to run down there. Yeah, that connects over here. Can you see my light? Jeremy's dropping down there.
No, I don't see it.
Huh. Okay, never mind then. That's kind of weird. How they dropped all that material there, and then, like I said, they egg-shelled the top of the drift there. That merits investigation. But first I want to see where this runs out. And again, there's some modern, I think that just faced it out. I was gonna say, there's stuff down here that's newer than all the stuff above. And so, it seems like a survey crew might have figured out a way to get in here. This might run to the outside, might not be caved. Or if it is caved, it caved more recently. Oh, this keeps going. This must be one of those stopes I looked down. Graham just caught up to me and said that other one caved, so this might be more significant. Anyway, this is one of the stopes I passed on the way down. Got track ties in here, but no track. Still pretty decent looking ground. Nice and spacious. This has got the spacing of a modern attic. An ore chute here on the left with a decent number of dots on it. The rats have visited. It's incredible to me how far in we are that they have brought organic material down. Unless what's in front of me goes somewhere to the outside. There's pretty big holes knocked out right there. I'm getting an airflow feeling. It could just be shifting here. Must be, because I think that's the face right there. Yeah, we faced out. So, well, maybe not. Maybe not. I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. So yes, that heading's done. But over here, I think we found your ladder, dude.
Oh, yeah?
I think we might have. Just looking at some of the geology here.
Oh, yeah, that's my ladder.
All right, so that's
Resolved.
that airflow spot that he ran down is here. And there's his little ladder there. So, well, I finally answered one question.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I feel like I've gone in a big circle. I'm surprised I'm back under that spot.
Yeah, it's
Confusing.
it is confusing. All right, there we go. That's the drift we just looked down, and there was actually airflow in there, but it was just airflow internally through the opening there. This is the way we've been coming in, and Graham did say that it was caved way down here. I just want to show you real quickly, so I'll meet you down there. We just came from way back in that direction. Jeremy's walking away, giving us some perspective on the size. And sure enough, that is the end of the line there. And yeah, we stuck our heads up. That's a no-go. It almost looks like it was dynamited shut or filled in intentionally, which is too bad. But I bet that more contemporary stuff, the ribbon and such back there, I bet they came in this way. Because nobody had been up where we were earlier. But I bet they came in to check out this level, probably came in through here, and then filled it in again when they were done. That would be my guess. Yeah, this Jeremy's like way back there. This is very long, very straight. So at this point, oh, I don't know if I mentioned or not, Jeremy ducked down where that white stuff was and said it filled in and pinched out. So at this point, oh, is this line running here? I don't think I showed that. I mean, you guys have seen the line before. It's not that interesting, but anyway, when you see the wires hanging down sometimes, I don't have anything connected to them. That's what it looks like when they are connected. Anyway, at this point, I believe our only option is through that nasty clay, chalky, soft material. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get through it or not, but we can at least try. We just came from the extreme opposite end that direction. We're back of that chalky white stuff, which Graham observed maybe talc. I have very little experience with talc, so I wouldn't know, but it does, now that I'm looking at it, it does look talky. That's Jeremy's legs right there. And apparently we are done. There's no opportunity to advance. Decent view up there, should I come up there?
Yeah.
All right.
It's kind of cool.
I'm gonna join Jeremy right there. Just climbed up through there, and you can see the nasty material caved all down through there. Looking pretty talky. I don't think the miners intended to hit this. I think this was an incidental discovery, and they may have just been trying to get it out of the way. That may have been why they dumped it down all the stopes and such. I don't think that they were placing a value on this, but you can see it all caved down where I'm standing and where Jeremy's standing. And up there, I really have the vibe there, just trying to get it out of the way. Where we want to go is straight that way, but there's about 30 feet at least of this in front of it, which that's more than we've got time to do. There's a lot of water dripping down. It is wet, wet, wet down here. And I'm glad it's down here rather than on those ladders. It's gonna make it a lot easier to get out on those decent ladders. Interesting stuff, huh? We just checked out down there, and the whole idea of that talky stuff being a trash rock they're trying to get rid of makes a lot more sense. And that would explain why they backfilled everything they could with it around here. And that pit back there, they were just trying to get it out of the way to get through it and keep it coming down on them. So that all makes more sense now. I realized I hadn't showed you what is back here yet, so I'm gonna pop back there real quickly and show you. And then the only thing I've left after that is that thing that was cutting off to the left near the very beginning. It popped in through there, connects to that stope that we looked up a second ago. This is caved in or backfilled stope with that talky material. And then we got stuff. Sorry, it's really low here. Stuff running off this way. So let's see where this goes. Again, modern evidence. Has a modern pipe to my right. We got a ribbon. Somebody came in, not recently, but at some point somebody came in on that drift where it's caved. Got Gobbing there. That's Graham. Up ahead, what's the hope it is? They just spread all this talky stuff around to get it out of the way, or what?
I don't know.
Seems like it.
This is fucking weird. This is...
There for support?
No, it's like a tube.
A tube?
See how they stacked rock and they pushed a bunch of mud and shit and timber. It's an artificial wall.
You know what?
And
All right.
put like a covering of it.
I have a theory for you.
Okay.
This may have been all filled in with wood and mud, and they slushed it out. The slusher was scraping along the sides. That would be my guess.
Yeah,
Because we got the modern stuff here. You know, got the plastic pipe and the ribbon and such.
Yeah.
And that's old.
it does look old. Yeah.
I mean, no, I'm saying like even the plastic pipe and the ribbon is old, like decades old. But this looks even older. Yeah. I 100% think that's what happened here, man.
I think that's a pretty good.
Because I'm used to what the slusher, like, because the slusher doesn't get everything. Stuff spills up on the sides. And this is what it looks like when that happens.
Well, there you go.
So this is actually pretty cool back here.
Yeah.
Got the white fungus.
Fungus among us.
Fungus among us on the timbers. And I guess we're not going to go that way.
Nope.
That's caved.
If you want the inside scoop on this thing,
Yeah.
that's there too.
Okay, what is, yeah,
Not interesting.
All right.
It goes to that
to that?
top of the white pile, yeah.
Okay.
And then the same white stuff is blocking you in all directions. So
So it caved from way up there, obviously higher than that even, and just plugged everything all through here. That must be just a big seam of talc.
yeah, fucking unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. Just like these poor timbers here that,
Yeah,
those are not
they're
in
original.
great shape, yeah. Well, we still have one option left in the very beginning. But I think this lower stuff is done. So, it's gonna take us a while, at least an hour or more. Actually, probably longer than that because of that big drop we had to make. So, in an hour or two, I'm gonna go up and pick up where we left off to the left. We just spent the last several hours exploring that side of the mine. This is that stairway. We dropped down. You can see they're going up it, and the reason they're going up it is because, remember that section going off to the left? Down there? We ran it out, and indeed it is exactly what we expected. It drops on the other side of the shaft, but then that section back behind it was just a little stope. So nothing of interest, no features. I'm just going to leave it at that.